You all know Shalini needs no introduction. And Hali mein subah meri baat ho rahi thi from someone who's common to us, and she said, she really made Delhi proud. So, I mean, we all rooted for her in the show where, basically as the sole representative of Delhi, she made the city and everything about Delhi, because people love criticizing our city. She just made us stand up and own ourselves. So, Shalini, I'm going to ask you let's go to the book first, The Art of Being Fabulous. What does fabulous really mean to you today, and how is it different from what people might read and that word from outside?
Thank you everyone for being here today to hear me and at this beautiful festival. So fabulous in general means mostly people use it to some opulent outfit or architecture or something which is more outwardly. For me, fabulousness starts from inside. And that's what I've tried to say in the book, that if you're fabulous inside, it will reflect outside. So that is the idea, and I think it's put in very simple words for everybody to understand and take away.
Absolutely, and what I really like about the book, and which I would suggest for all of you to pick it up, is it's very simple. बहुत ही simply लिखी है, and of course you can notice the heart and the heart that's gone into it, but it was the simplicity. But Shalini, I want to ask you, you have blended personal stories with life rules. Why do you feel it was the right time for you to actually put pen to paper?
So for after the success of the series, we would get thousands of messages all the time, and then I would type out messages or send them links of they would ask me various questions about what to do in life, how, and just whole lot of things like. That was one reason, and the second reason was many top publishers got in touch and they felt that I could write a book. And I was not convinced, because I said my English is very basic and my ideas are my own, and I have my own set of rules, and I don't know if the audience can relate to it. He said, they were like, but the audience has related, and and they did the whole research and they felt that this book would be really successful. And I then signed with Penguin, and they sort of kept it quiet. We didn't announce the book till the first draft was ready. So,
also the fact is, which I said in the beginning, was that you were unapologetically yourself. You embraced everything. Whether your co-stars in the show thought you were eccentric, you were proud to be one. You were quirky, you were simple, and everything. Did that take a lot, or, could have been unnerving for you, because this was the first time you were bearing your life, yourself, in front of the camera and to a national and international audience?
So I've always said, I pay my taxes, I'm a good person, I do everything by the book. And my quirks are my own, and this is what makes me. And if I have to hide that, and as long as I'm not hurting anybody, humiliating anyone, I'm not troubling anybody, I just want to live my life, and that's how I can be effective. If I put on a facade, I'm not going to be effective, So for me, it was just embracing my individuality and not putting up a facade.
And also what I liked about the fact, because आप सबको पता है ना कि हर जगह हो जाता है Delhi versus Bombay, though the biggest superstar of Bollywood and now internet is Shah Rukh Khan, a Delhi boy, but वो होता है Delhi versus Bombay. You faced a lot of that, and they were like, Delhi, Delhi. But to just be yourself and stand there and take it all out, but not in a very aggressive way. You were very
But
calm.
honestly, I've faced that my entire life.
Haven't we all?
Haven't we also, when you go to, like, not just in front of the camera, but Delhi bashing has always been, oh, you're from Delhi? Oh, yeah, definitely this. They'll say, oh, Delhi people are so formal. They, make 100 things when we go to their house. I say, but they're making the effort and their hospitality. They're being hospitable.
Yeah.
Delhi people overdress. I say, but we have 4 seasons. We have that kind of weather where we can actually wear clothes, unlike Bombay, where it's always humid, hot and humid. And also, I think what I tried to explain to everybody was, and I think that point came out, that in Delhi we have one foot in tradition and one foot in modernity, whereas most cities, now in the contemporary world, they are just living in a very contemporary environment. They feel that traditional values and traditional are not up. They are not able to keep up. And Delhi, I feel, has both, which is amazing.
Absolutely. And also now getting back to the book is, since you write a lot about being unapologetically yourself, before I get into the little nuggets you've shared, was there a moment in your life when you realized, I really do not want to explain myself to anyone? Was that one particular moment that tilted the balance for you?
Well, I think since I was a child, I always listened to everybody, but I always did what I had to do. So I would always listen to them patiently and say, yeah, 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 but I would eventually do what I wanted to do. So non-conform. And like, even my parents said something, I would listen to them and do both. So I worked overtime also.
So, I mean, just sharing one personal nugget, she was my junior in school, and I know her classmates who say she's still the same person that she was in S6 and S7.
Yeah.
And, a lot for people to say that, despite the fame, despite you being in the public eye, despite you being a public person, to say
Yeah.
that she still retained it. But how difficult is it, Shalini? Because एक public persona होता है, एक private persona होता है. A private persona that people guide, I mean, are very fiercely protective about.
Yeah, so for me, I, approach things with the eyes of a child, with the enthusiasm of a young child. Like I'm in school, so if I'm coming to the book fair, I want to see everything. I want to meet the authors. I want to go and see, the tiniest books. So I think for me, I think retaining that childhood, like having this thing where you still see everything with new eyes is one thing which is very important. The second, of course, when I got married into the society where everything was very superficial, I had to protect my energy. So for this, I created this whole facade of the dressing and somebody who's very uptight and reserved.
Wow.
And that sort of, otherwise I could not have survived. Otherwise, and my friends, and not just friends, but everybody in Delhi who knows me knows that this is just a facade, and inside I'm just that little girl from modern school, Barakhamba Road.
Yeah, honestly, and also, did you think, because your dressing, I mean, you're extremely stylish, and she can be also, as they say, very avant-garde in her approach to her fashion, and sometimes OTT. Was that also a kind of an armor to protect yourself?
Yeah, absolutely, an armor. And also what happens is that when you're dressed in a certain way, people sometimes don't approach you. They just see you and they go, I like that. I want minute, because when I start engaging, then I speak a lot, and then I also get attached to people very fast. So I prefer that they stay away.
We saw that insight from the MASH ball also. But also, the fact is, like in the book, she says how there was an event where she was not allowed to take her phone. So what she did was carried a phone bag.
Yeah, I carried a phone bag, which is actually Kapil Sharma show. So they said you can't, they were very particular. And in between, I'm always working on different projects. I have other commitments. I'm just not a Netflix star, like how they call me now. But I have other things to do, and those are equally important to me. So they said no phone. So I actually took a phone bag. It was like defiance, but in a sweet way.
Yeah. No, your bags are quite the talk of the town, whether it's an owl bag, whether it's a phone bag, whether it's bags that, Also, is that kind of a statement you're making through your bags? Because I've been very intrigued by your Judith Lieber bags and everything else.
So yes, it's also like symbolism. Like when I went for the Emmy Awards, I took the Prince Charming, the frog bag. And the joke was that I kissed the frog bag and turned into Diljit.
Oh, wow, awesome.
It's a personal joke, but I didn't really kiss the
It's
frog.
awesome. You should be writing another book also on these vignettes. But now coming back to the book, people often see the glamour before they see the vulnerability. In the book, when you opened about your inner world, you talk about the fact that when you got married, your husband is far more spiritual. It got you into that world as well, where you've spoken about your own dadi.
So my husband is more religious.
Huh.
I think my grandparents were more spiritual.
Okay.
And I think my mom is also very religious in terms of doing things. But I think that that sense of doing certain things certain way came from my husband. The way he was so particular about taking care of people. If he went on a yatra, the people he met, or the villages he stopped on the way. And so I think that, and also I saw the power, because when you are young, you're just, when I saw the power of faith.
Yeah.
And no matter where I went, whether I went to Ajmer Sharif, or I went to, a Gurudwara, or when I went to a mosque or a
Tirupati,
synagogue,
when you also
or when
shaved your
or
hair.
when I go
Yeah.
to temples, yeah. So I see the power, because I think that people have been sitting in this space, in those spaces, and praying for centuries, and that somehow, that whole, it makes you realize that you are just there for, I'm going to live 100 years, so I'm here only for 100 years. And these places have been there forever, and
Yeah,
people have
absolutely.
been, so
No, but was that also very freeing and cathartic? Because when you're writing and going back in time, sometimes your most embarrassing moments you cringe at, but when you get
why
hindsight, it's very freeing.
I've emailed and called up Penguin and said that, can we remove these parts? They are a bit too much. But they said, no, it's gone. We cannot touch it now.
So, who was the first person who read your book and what was their reaction?
The first person, I
Other than
think,
your editor. I don't want to talk about the editor
the
at Penguin,
editor,
amongst your
my
circle.
poor editor. So other than, I think my mom read the book out to my dad, and he was very happy, and he was very happy about it. And I think many other people, lots of journalists, lots of people, yeah. My son hasn't read the book. It's a very personal book. It's very simple book, and it has these fun anecdotes. They'll make you laugh, they'll make you cry, and they'll make you think about your own journey.
Absolutely.
So the idea was not to, sell my own story. The idea is that I wanted people to think, because these small incidents happen with us and we don't think about them. So there's a lesson in everybody's life, not just mine.
No, no, absolutely. I totally get that. And also, she went viral on the show, which also spawned social media memes as well. I do not want anything or anyone to impact my energy. It was like, I don't gossip, it's bad energy. And suddenly people started reflecting on that as well.
Yeah. One of my friends, Manish Malhotra, he's a designer. He's like, everybody in my office is quoting you now. All these young interns. So day night they quote you. So yeah, I'm happy.
But what was your reaction, initial reaction, when suddenly from this person who just took over the show, as somebody actually the other day was saying, she ate everyone for dinner and did not leave the remains behind? What was it like when you suddenly became this? Aajkal validation is when you become a social media meme and when there are reels. What was your first reaction?
I called up my PR team and I said that, thank you, have you been doing this? I was in Bombay, and the next day, they said, no, we thought you hired another team, another PR. I said, no, I hired you. She said, no, I said, nothing. So then I asked my team, I said, have you been doing all this? They said, no, ma'am, you were in Bombay, we took a vacation. So I said, how is this happening? Then it hit us after a day, after like 20 hours, that this was just all the love. And we had thousands and thousands. Even now, when you open my messages, DMs, I think just God has been kind. And I think I was concerned that people will think, like, not be able to relate to me, but the camera doesn't lie, and people did relate. So I think I'm grateful for that.
But how difficult is it actually to live your life in the spotlight, Shalini? Because you are part of the Delhi, page 3 circles and everything, but suddenly to be in the spotlight, post the show, it just like kind of upturned everything.
So, I don't have any secrets, I think. I don't think I have any secrets. I have nothing to hide. I'm very grateful for the love and the affection, and I want to use this to have a voice where maybe I can help, women or marginalized community or whatever work I'm doing, and it has really empowered me. Sometimes people say that we are inspired by you, but I honestly feel that their love has empowered me. Their love has given me a voice. What they give back to me inspires me to work harder. So for me, I'm really grateful for all the love and the attention that, everybody is giving me. So.
And it's funny because you yourself have said until 2018, she was not very confident and very unsure about being there.
Yeah.
What
I didn't
suddenly
like the way
switched?
I thought I came across as a very strong person, and my entire life I wanted to be very feminine. So when I saw the camera, my eyes were very intense. So I thought that I looked very strong, you know, and I wanted to be feminine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't like the way the camera captured me. And so I would take pictures, but just do a side profile, or I would barely take pictures. Then also had a phobia of speaking. I used to eat up words and mispronounce and sometimes stammer because when I got scared. So I worked on all that. I had a teacher. I used to work
Wow.
2-3 times a week with him, and just so that I could be functional and not get paralyzed in front of the camera. And later did I realize that I would actually love being in front of the camera.
You were
So
born for the camera, as Yash, you said Yash Chopra himself had said that you could have been a Yash Raj heroine. So, I mean, any regrets about a film career? Ki it's all okay.
no, at that point I was terrified of the camera, and I also could not speak. Like I couldn't speak. I could dance, but I did have the presence, but I just could not speak. You know how in school, when so there was no, and I think there's a time for everything, and when you're prepared, you're prepared. So destiny brings you to where you are, and for me, this is a medium to reach out to audience. It's not the end. For me, this medium is not the end. For me, this is just a medium to reach out to more people and say the things that I want to say. And if they like what I'm saying and if it's helping them, that's what I want to do.
Absolutely. Since you structured the book around 10 rules, if someone were to follow just one rule from the book, which one do you think can genuinely change their life and why?
I think bonds for life, definitely, because we always say that certain relationships, something happens among friends and then we let go. But people also have their own issues. So I think for me, a relationship is for entire life. If I invest in a friendship or even a professional relationship, we all go through ups and downs. So we should not give up on people. I don't give up on people easily.
Yeah,
It
that
takes a lot for me to give up on someone.
awesome. And that we could see even in the show when they all ganged up against you. You stood by yourself. Was that difficult? Because, as you said, the camera captures everything. But did you have a mask on where one could not see the inner anguish at all?
I'm pretty unaffected, I'm like the rubber uh, leaf, the rubber tree leaf.
Huh.
I have like that DuPont on me. I'm pretty unaffected because I do understand like people work out of different insecurities, their own issues, and I'm just too busy wrapped up in my own life to actually get into a situation. I'm
You're Zen.
I'm not Zen. I'm just not interested. I don't
How
pretend to
does
be
that
Buddha or
come?
Zen.
I'm
I'm just
sure
not.
each
I
one
just
of
don't
us
have the
here.
energy to. You have to win the battle, not fight war. Like you have to win the war, not fight battles.
Can you tell us one thing? Because I'm sure everyone here, कोई कुछ कह देता है, we get very upset, someone behaves
बट
in a...
जो लोग आपके जो बिगेस्ट क्रिटिक्स होते हैं वही आपके फ्लॉज देखते हैं और वही लोग आपको सही एडवाइस देते हैं. जो आपके फ्रेंड्स होते हैं वो हमेशा आपके बारे में अच्छा वो आपको हमेशा अच्छी आंख से देखते हैं. जो आपके क्रिटिक्स होते हैं वो आपको क्लोजली देखते हैं. और मैं हमेशा जो मेरे क्रिटिक मुझे बोलते हैं मेरे को पता है इन्होंने बहुत रिसर्च करके बोला है, तो मैं उसको दिल से ठीक करने की कोशिश करती हूँ. क्योंकि हम अपने जिनको प्यार करते हैं, जो हमारे दोस्त हैं, उनमें सब चीज़ हम उनकी पसंद करते हैं.
No, true. I mean, to embrace that tough boss or that friend who betrayed you. So maybe they were our best teachers also.
Absolutely. I think the people who were the meanest or the nastiest or your tough boss or whoever are actually your biggest teachers. So that's what I have said in the book, and that's what I genuinely believe. My biggest teachers have been people who have been are the ones who are actually,
One particular instance, if you can share, because we all love a good anecdote.
yeah, but there are many actually. My swimming teacher, she actually threw me down the diving board because she didn't want me to wait. Everybody had to do the 1 meter, 3 meter, and then the 5 meter or whatever. She said, I don't think you should be. I don't want to waste another month, 2 months till you come up. So she just threw me in, and I had to adapt. So. And at that moment, I was like, but became a life lesson because for me now I just jump into things,
Yeah.
and I know I'll have to learn because we keep waiting. All of us keep waiting for that moment, the perfect moment when I would have learned everything and then I would have mastered this or mastered that. Or but sometimes you just have to jump into the thing and take the opportunity, and then you just learn along the way.
Absolutely. And art also plays a very central and key role in your life, as you've said that art in your house is not for the sake of art, but it's energy and there's stories to tell. So
Yeah.
how has living with art shaped the way you see the world?
So for me, I wanted to be an artist, and I am an artist. I'm not a professional, but I do photography as well. So for me, when I started collecting, the first artists that I started collecting were the ones who I had read about in the books or seen in museums. And for me, it's looking at their strokes in the morning, the works they have created. So for me, it's very personal, and then of course, this whole thing about collecting and everything is now. But when I started the process, it was it was a very different reason. And I think art has enriched my life because you know how authors write,
Yeah.
artists paint. So it's a dialogue on their times or whatever they want to say. So like a picture's word, 1,000 words.
Well said. And which is your favorite piece, if I may ask?
Actually, many, and this particular work by Manjeet Bawa, which is Kali slaying the Mahishasur. It's the most beautiful work. It has a black background, and there's goddess Kali slaying the Mahishasur. So it's like women empowerment, and we talk about women empowerment now, but this is
Yeah.
such an ancient topic. So
Absolutely. And you also made a very strong case for beauty as a form of self care, where you spoke about your own diet, your own personal habits, like no gossip, it ruins your aura. Why do you think beauty is often misunderstood, especially now in today's time, where?
well, I tell all my friends, they say when I'm having an issue with my skin. So I'm saying, you're not having an issue with your skin, you're having an issue with your liver, or you're having an issue with your gut. Because everything that is not working inside your body finally comes onto your system. So it's the last place it comes onto your skin, but it's already, it has already disturbed your inners, and that's why showing on your skin. So people have to understand that, but like having good skin or is just a byproduct of good health. You have to take care of.
So someone who's at ease at, say, an Emmy party, as she is at ease at a place where she's helping people. So were there moments in your life where you felt that being fabulous was actually impossible?
Being fabulous is, I think, is just being who you are, because you cannot be the same person everywhere. When you're in a space where you are doing photography, or when you're a space when you're socializing, or when you're in a space at like this. So you have to have different skills which you can use, and going back and forth is very important. And I think being fabulousness is doing a task that is given to you, with your whole heart.
True. And what is the biggest misconception you felt that people had about you and you wanted to address it through the book?
Well, I feel very happy if people have these misconceptions.
Wow.
Because it's very interesting, because my entire life I was told I was boring, and my friends said that you are very boring. So for me, I feel very happy if they have misconceptions. It's interesting. It just makes you a more interesting person.
Wow. So what was the reaction of all the people who said you were boring? Suddenly you were on the cover of magazines at all these dues.
They just still tell me, just don't open your mouth. Just don't speak, because you maintain that aura and to maintain that mystery. And she said, just don't be friendly with everyone. You should, maintain that arrogant vibe. Because they now feel this, now you're friends with everyone. So they kind of feel left out.
Also, so you speak about purpose and service alongside luxury and beauty. How do you personally balance, say, ambition and empathy?
So I think, it's important to have a goal which is higher than yourself. And that's what keeps you going. Because when we do things for ourselves, so we sort of become lax, and we say, okay, it doesn't matter, I'm just doing this for myself, and who cares? But when you have a goal and when you're responsible to certain causes, then you'll definitely make that effort. You'll sleep on time, watch less television, you'll wake up on time, you'll make that effort.
So if you were to meet yourself, say, at 18, what would you tell her?
I'll just study hard. Study hard.
Why study hard?
Because I don't know, I think I should, if that's why I had to take all those classes later on in life. And I think, I think language, I was not very good in English. I was good, like the average, but I wish I was better.
Okay, and finally, if you were to write this book again 10 years from now, what do you think might change and what would stay the same?
I think the book would stay the way it is. I think we would add on, like we had many more points which the editors removed. They wanted to keep it 10, they wanted to keep it small. But I think we will definitely have a part 2, part 3 of,
The Fabulous Life of
yeah,
Shalini
because
Passi.
see, this is a journey, it goes on, and there are certain things that you want to share at certain times, and certain things you don't want to share, so.
No, very true about that. And do you want me to do the rapid fire first, or do you want the audience to ask? I mean, your pick. Rapid fire? Okay. So, one word you would use to describe yourself before writing the book.
One word, eclectic? Eclectic.
Okay. One word to describe yourself after writing this book.
Fabulous. Should stick.
A daily ritual you never skip, no
Uh,
matter how busy the day gets.
Drinking lots of water.
Oh.
And sleep. I have to sleep.
Okay. And if this book, being fabulous, had a soundtrack, which one would it be?
From, I don't know, which one should it be?
Mitwa. That's the
No.
song that made you famous on the show.
I
also.
think प्यार
कि-
करने वाले प्यार करते हैं शान से जीते हैं
Oh,
शान
yeah,
से
yeah, yeah.
मरते हैं शान से.
That's so for you.
No?
That's just
Perfect.
appropriate. That's appropriate.
It is.
One rule from the book you personally struggle to follow even today.
I think I follow pretty much all. That's why I put it there. What I, why I do what I do is because I'm a very lazy person. So if I'm not regimented, I can fall into this deep lazy phase. That's why I do everything the way I do, because I'm an artist, I'm a dreamer, and I can just daydream all day. That's why I have structure. And that's why I do these things, because otherwise I can just procrastinate the whole day. So
Wow.
yeah.
Something people assume about you that is completely untrue.
It's completely, actually, I don't know. I don't really, what they completely untrue. No. Somebody said I have fake hair and all. It's all mine, so.
Chalo. She's as real as they get. Luxury for you is,
Sleep, peaceful sleep.
which I think you're very disciplined about your sleep also.
Yeah, but also I work, so sometimes, I wake up and send a voice note, then I wake, yeah.
Okay. So a piece, I mean, you really are very disciplined, yeah? And a piece of advice you ignored once and later realized, wish I had listened to this.
A piece of advice I ignored. Actually, my mistakes make who I am. I would definitely acknowledge it, but
Like one advice, if you could go back in time and...
no, I don't have regrets. Like even a bad makeup, bad hair, bad costume, I have no regrets, because it just makes you, it becomes you. It's like, the tree, so it can't say that,
So what instantly makes you fabulous, whatever be your mood?
I think cold. I love cold weather.
Oh, wow. So you live, this is the best for you. So
Yeah.
one habit you had to unlearn to become more confident.
Well, I had to accept the way I looked on camera and in real. I would not laugh a lot because I felt my nose was really big. And I would not leave the house maybe 15 years ago if my hair was not perfectly straight.
Your nose is perfect. So what is a famous Bollywood problem?
I think it's not just Bollywood. I think it's a problem that we see in social media, that the images that are put out are very perfect. Like the young generation. My issue is that when the young generation or even audiences watch these, there are these models whose hair has been perfectly blow dried for like 2 hours. Then they have hair, makeup. They have the best camera teams, lighting. And the images are edited as well. And when all these images or videos are released to the public, the viewer who's watching it wants to replicate the same thing,
Yeah.
but not realizing that everything is, like people have had surgeries or whatever. So that whole image has to change. Whereas if you see in Hollywood, people are more natural. The actors are
agree.
more natural.
I
The
agree.
hair, it's more natural. Like, you can see their freckles. You can see
Absolutely.
a crooked nose. You can see the irregular jawline, but I think especially in Asian countries, this has become sort of a norm that, it's heavily Asia, especially Middle East as well.
Yeah.
So I think that whole thing of that perfect beauty and how is will definitely take a toll, because not just that it's the image which I have an issue with, it's also that it's also time consuming, because after these people are just 20 years old, and then what happens to them if they've done all this at this age, what happens to them later? And the youth is what makes a nation, a culture, and they're, instead of focusing on their work, on their art, or whatever they have to do, they're focusing on this, so.
I so agree, and that's so relevant what you've said today, because the validation, all these young.
Because they can't help it. They see these images everywhere. They see it in movies, in videos, on Instagram. And everything is edited, or people have had surgery to look the way they are looking. And now also there's this whole movement of going back to non-Botox faces, or, embracing what you were born naturally. So I think that has to come into India as well, into our popular image.
Absolutely, very well said, Shalini, and that's something I want all the young people to take away from. What you see is actually not real. Real is what she's actually saying, and being real is embracing yourself. अच्छा तो पूछते हैं heels or flats?
Heels. Yeah, heels, yeah.
Minimal or maximal?
Maximal for now.
Okay, for now, never minimal.
I've been minimal when I shaved my hair. It was very minimal clothing for about 8-10 years, but definitely maximal. I mean, look around you, India is a maximalist country. So we cannot, I don't think we can be a minimal nation anyway. We love textiles, colors, jewelry, the craft, so.
Art gallery or a quiet morning at home?
Museum.
Yeah?
Museum, yeah.
A compliment that secretly means a lot to you.
Being told that I can speak well.
And who did it come from, if you can share?
It's from all of you just now.
So sweet. One thing you wish women would stop apologizing for?
For being beautiful, because I think somebody who can take care of themselves and have an amazing professional life and look feminine. We've taken the whole femininity out of, we want to look masculine. There was this phase in the 90s where, in office, that how to be taken seriously. These articles used to come out in magazines. They used to say, wear structured clothes, don't wear color, don't wear lipstick, do your hair in a certain way. And this thing was imposed because women wanted to look, like little masculine. And that whole thing is not correct. A feminine energy is so important in our culture. And all around the world, you have to embrace it. And women have a different way of doing things, and we cannot be taken just because somebody is wearing a floral sari or somebody is not wearing a structured gray black suit. We should not be taken on the basis of what we are wearing. Somebody likes to wear a suit, please go ahead. But if somebody wants to wear a sari to work or a suit to work, and that has to change, and it's still there.
And you were someone who said, I mean, you speak about your love with the 6 yards, and in Cannes, where you see everyone trying their best to fit into gowns, which our body types are not actually structured for, you happily wore a sari.
I wear a lot of sari because, one, I find it very easy to move. I find it versatile. You can cover your shoulders. It can be sexy. It can be conservative. It can be. I wore I think 3 saris at Cannes, and one for the talk at the India Pavilion as well. And I love wearing saris. The most beautiful, feminine. Also, like when you wear it, it's also an art. You know how you drape it.
Yeah.
So.
And does the audience have any questions? Yes, please go ahead.
So, hello ma'am, this is Roof. Really nice to meet you and congratulations on your book.
Thank you, sir.
We were waiting for something, so we can get the whole things in a nutshell rather than going through a lot of your videos on YouTube. So I think you did a great help to us to
Thank you.
be able to get all the gist in one place.
Yeah.
So my question to you is that apart from writing about fabulousness, what is that one practice, what is that one daily practice which you will not compromise or give up at any cost and which keeps you grounded and maintains your panache?
Praying, puja karna.
Okay, and
Yeah.
anything apart from that?
I think for me, I prioritize, it's like, praying, sleep, drinking water, hygiene, exercise, I work out every day, and these 5 things I have to do, and then work. And for me, I enjoy my work. I enjoy working out, so that is my recreation. When I pray, I feel very happy. I feel energized. So praying is, I think, most important to me. Like praying, meditating, dhyan.
You do realize everyone wanted you to have your own show in. Would that be fun?
Huh?
That would be fun, right? To have your own show.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah.
So that means something is in the pipeline, huh? Anyone else have a question?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm so glad to meet you. You are so beautiful. Ma'am, I have a question. What's your take on advising women from middle class family who are homemaker, sitting at home doing their work? How can they feel fabulous? What can they do? What's your advice for them?
I think, your women, you have to feel that, you and your families, of course, have to support you in this. Because, you are working as well as taking care of your families. And it's a very big responsibility. And I think the thing is that when you have to tell your family that, I have a dream. Suppose you're not able to pursue your dream, right? Or your hobbies. Little by little, every day, maybe take out time and work on it. Like, get a book, read it. Or if you want to do an online course, then do bit by bit. Don't let go of your dreams. Because what I see is that many women get caught in, working or get caught in their family life and, their daily duties, and they let go of their dream. And when they do that, then they lose hope. So I think if you keep that hope alive, you will definitely get an opportunity. And also, if you start supporting women of your family, like many times I see this also, like women are against women because just because they didn't have the opportunity. So even if you didn't get the opportunity, you have a younger sibling or a sister-in-law or, a niece. So support them that, and somewhere down the line, the goodness will come back to you. So that I feel a lot, because unless women even in that level are not supporting each other, and you have to make like your bank of women who sort of are your friends, your, you know that you have to keep making, and these are small efforts that you'll have to do. So thank you.
It
Thank
was
you,
very
ma'am.
interesting that even in the book you've said that when someone told you half of GK has been made by housewives,
Yeah.
and you didn't know whether it was an insult or a compliment.
Yeah. I was very young at that time, and then I was started doing the interiors of my home, and this came from a friend, and I was like, is it a compliment? Is it like not a compliment? So I said, anyway, like, I'm sure it will be.
I'm sure you yourself, because it's interesting what she said. I feel that the homemaker is actually the toughest job.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the toughest
definitely.
job.
So basically, like, that's what I've been speaking, even at all different platforms. Women are not wanting to start a family or even get married because, when they have a child, then for 5 6 years they are not able to go back to work, and when they do go back, everything has changed.
Yeah.
And that's why we have aging population around the world. We don't have a young population. India also, the similar things are happening, and around the world, as you can see. So this is a larger question which institutions and governments have to address, that how do we make sure that, the women are, when they're coming back to work, do they get special privileges, like, so all that has to be taken into account. And I always, it's like a very funny thing, a person will go to work, come back, take care of the family. And then, if it's at night, there's a storm, she's the one who will go and check the kundi in the house. It's not, it's nobody else but her. I'm sure you have done that as well. If there's a storm, we'll eventually go and check every khidki in the house. So I think a woman's job is never done, and we give so much of it. Being a housewife is the is the biggest scam, and is the most under non-paid. Is the only job that women do which they don't get paid for.
Absolutely. Housewives
It's-
never get a holiday either.
They never get a holiday, even on a holiday, and they don't get paid for anything. So
I mean, honestly, because I do realize we all need to be apologetic towards our mums also, because the kind of work that they have done. You were a young mum yourself.
yeah.
Anyone else? Last question. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Shalini. This is Priya.
Hi, Priya.
And first of all, I want to say you're so graceful and it's lovely to see you in person.
Thank you.
So my question is that since you have achieved so much in life now with your book, we have social media in picture now. And everything on social media you post is scrutinized by one or the other. So with all the positivity and hate together, how do you handle it? And what's your one piece of advice to people who are trying to achieve what you have done in life, considering the people getting scrutinized over social media for the same?
So, I honestly feel my journey has just started. I have a long way to go. And I'm just grateful that we are starting like this. I am my own biggest critic, you know. I look at it things like how, because I'm an artist, I'm used to seeing things very differently, and those things disturb me. I'm also a perfectionist. I was a perfectionist. I try not to get that thing in way. I think people should not, like, you know, the younger generation, you should not get caught what's on social media, because social media is meant to be instant. It's meant to be that much catch your attention, then move on. You can only catch their attention if you have substance. Otherwise, it's just very superficial. And that superficiality can do well for some time, but not in the long run. In the long run, anything with substance will go. So whatever you are doing, one, you have to love it. Two, you have to give your whole heart to it. Put it on Instagram. Of course, it's a lot of viewers. It's a different audience. It's a great tool, but that it is not the end. It's just a means, right? So that thing they forget. You know, people have become influencers and they live their life for that. And then what happens? Because suddenly, you know, everything changes, and there has to be substance. Like when I used to travel, I travel much less now because of work. But when I traveled all over the world or in India, I was doing it because I loved it. I wanted to showcase Indian culture and art, and we put it on Instagram. It got great. I wasn't doing it for Instagram. I was doing it because I wanted to showcase, say, Pondicherry or any or Leh Ladakh or whatever that I was doing. It was not just for the gram. It was for a different reason. For yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So very well said. So very well said. And I totally get that. And before we wrap up, can you sing us a song for the audience?
Well, I'm not ready for this, but like, yeah, but what do you want me to sing?
Anything. Anything, your favorite.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm not. जुस्तजू जिसकी थी उसको तो ना पाया हमने जुस्तजू जिसकी थी उसको तो ना पाया हमने इस बहाने से मगर देख ली दुनिया हमने
You are fabulous. Fabulous is the key word today. You're fabulous. Awesome. Thank you so much, Shalini. So all of you get this book. And it's an interesting read. And we are waiting for the second one to come now.
Yes.
All right. So that means that's in the offing too. Lovely meeting you. Thank you so much.